Coming up on Wyln News, the trial for a woman who allegedly killed a child in her Mahanoy City home begins today. This is your news choice. Wyln News starts right now.
From the WYLN studios in Hazleton and all over northeastern Pennsylvania, this is WYLN News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Dagnan. The trial for a woman who allegedly killed a child in her Mahanoy City home got underway today. 54-year-old Patrina Hoffman was charged by Mahanoy City Police with causing the death of 15-month-old Nevaeh Doyle. The child was found dead at the home at 519 West Center Street, January 10th of 2016. An autopsy revealed the child died from asphyxia by smothering. A jury of 9 women and 7 men will hear the case. Hoffman faces charges of third-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, endangering the welfare of children, and other charges. The case is being heard by President Judge William Baldwin. Hoffman remains free on $1 nominal bail. The Sugarloaf Township Zoning Hearing Board denied a special exception for an asphalt plant to be built on the Tom Hicken Road. That decision has been a long time coming for some residents that have been fighting to keep the plant out of the area for over a year. The zoning board voted unanimously to deny the application submitted by Glyn O. Hawbaker for building the plant on a 16-acre parcel about a little over a mile west of Route 93. It's not clear whether the Hawbaker Company will appeal the local zoning ruling. The plans called for manufacturing 30 tons of asphalt a day at the plant. Crushed stone would be mixed with a binder to make asphalt, and natural gas would fuel the boiler. Hawbaker representatives had said previously that the plan would not cause any problems for neighbors. A remembrance service for Gary Marchok was held yesterday in Tamaqua. He's the Schuylkill County attorney who was found beaten to death earlier this month in his home in Ryan Township. State police have taken his son Michael into custody in connection with the man's death. He was picked up on the boardwalk in Atlantic City last Friday and is waiting to be returned to Pennsylvania to face charges. Pennsylvania lawmakers returned to the Capitol yesterday. 5 days left to pass an on-time budget and no firm agreements on how to address state government's biggest cash shortfall since the recession. Few, if any, lawmakers expect this year's budget plan to make any headway toward clearing up Pennsylvania's long-term deficit. Governor Tom Wolf released his budget back in February. The governor proposed $2 billion in savings and increased revenue by combining departments, eliminating waste, taxing frackers, but spending more on education. The time is running out. The deadline, July 1st, but that deadline has been missed in Wolf's first 2 years in office. As WYLN reported to you last week, a vacant building in Freeland partially collapsed. Now the owner has until Friday to make repairs. Part of the building at 714 Center Street fell on the sidewalk during the early morning hours last Thursday. Letty Polino of West Hazleton, who owns the building, was hand-delivered a notice of violation on that same day. The structure was inspected on Saturday by an official from Barry Issett and Associates. Emergency repairs were made by the borough, but the owner must remove the facade and make other necessary repairs. If the owner doesn't complete the work, the borough can then step in and decide what to do with the property, which may include demolishing it and placing a lien against the property. Luzerne County Council is expected to discuss a settlement over the region's AAA minor team at tonight's meeting. The county sued Lackawanna County in August of 2010 after the sale of a baseball franchise to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees. The franchise was sold for $14.6 million. Luzerne County claimed it was owed half. Council members will decide whether to accept a proposed settlement of $4 million from Lackawanna County. Today, Pope Francis chose a new leader for the Diocese of Allentown, and he didn't have to look too far. The Pope appointed Monsignor Alfred Schlertz as the 5th Bishop of Allentown. Schlert is the first priest in the diocese to be appointed to serve as bishop. The 55-year-old has been serving as the diocesan administrator since the Pope named his predecessor Bishop of Rockville Center in New York. The Allentown Diocese is home to more than 200,000 Roman Catholics and is comprised of 84 parishes. Schlert will be installed on August 31st at the Cathedral of St. Catherine of Siena in Allentown. Coming up on WYLN News, WYLN's Maria Senti visits a local pool to get us some summer safety tips, plus what's not open on the upcoming 4th of July. But first, as we head out to break, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast from the WYLN Weather Center. Remember, you can get all your weather information at WYLNTV.com. We'll be right back.
Why do so many Subaru buyers love Fairway Subaru?
By far, Fairway Subaru gave me the best price and the best trade-in.
I've been very pleased with their service.
We actually found what we were looking for right off the lot.
Made sure that the vehicle I was looking for fit my needs. I really feel like a part of their extended family.
Fairway Subaru on Route 309, Hazel Township, or visit us online. You're going to love us too.
Do you have a bridal shower, baby shower, birthday party, rehearsal dinner, or some other important event coming up? Call us at Booty's Place to book our elegant, private upstairs dining room. It offers a seating capacity of up to 50 people, a private bar, and an elevator for easy access. Or you can book the entire upstairs for an even larger event. Contact Chef Bobby DeFeo for pricing and delicious customized menu options. 570-455-5551. Let us help make your special day a big success. Booty's Place, definitely the best.
Many community pools throughout northeastern Pennsylvania have finally opened up for the summer. WYLN's Maria Senti spoke with a lifeguard at the Cunningham Valley Civic Organization pool in Cunningham about safety tips that children should keep in mind while they're at the pool.
Kids can get hurt and drown very quickly, and it can happen when your back is turned. It can happen in front of you. You just want your kids safe and happy and healthy.
Claudine Kurtz has been a Sugarloaf resident for many years and says she and her husband bring their 4 kids to the CVCO pool almost every day. She says aside from having fun, it's critical for her kids and other children to stay safe.
They need to watch out and not hurt the little kids, because it's very easy to get all caught up in their fun games and end up hurting another child by accident who doesn't swim as well as they do.
That's why the CVCO has 3 lifeguards on duty at all times.
I just want them to have a fun time, but also be safe and know that there's not a lot of danger when they're swimming if they follow our rules.
Allison Hone has been a lifeguard at the CVCO for the past month. She says 3 of the most critical safety tips for children to keep in mind are to swim with a buddy at all times, to always be aware of their surroundings, and to avoid involvement in horseplay and dangerous pool games.
We just want them to be able to, go back to mom and dad and say, I had a great day and I want to come back to the pool.
And although the lifeguards may need to reprimand the children at times, Hone says they always have the children's best interest at heart.
We're doing our job because we want you to be safe, and in the end, I want you kids to have a fun time, have a great summer, and just know that this pool is welcoming you to a great environment.
Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Maria Senti.
Thank you, Maria. A little disappointed that Maria didn't go off that diving board while she had the opportunity. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation will be shutting down services for the 4th of July holiday, which is next week. All driver's license and photo centers will be closed on Tuesday, July 4th, in observance of Independence Day. Customers can still, however, use the PennDOT website to obtain driver and vehicle products and services, including forms and manuals, and you can go to dmv.pa.gov. Also, the Hazleton Public Transit announcing its July 4th holiday hours. There will be no bus service Tuesday, July 4th in recognition of the holiday. The office will also be closed. Bus service will resume on Wednesday the 5th. The office hours also resuming that day. Coming up on Partysville's News Choice, rolling out the red carpet. And you're invited. We'll tell you where on Community and You. Plus, information on the Little League playoff games. But first, let's take a look at today's winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. Stay with us.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Welcome to Community and You. Today, if we're going to roll out a red carpet, who better to do it than Mary Malone with the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce? You brought your red carpet with you.
I do, and you know what? We are so lucky in the Greater Hazleton area. We do it with the chamber at least once a month, and it really is fun to see who walks down that carpet once a month.
And this time on July 7th, it's going to be
Congressman Lou Barletta.
All right.
Which is always a very popular breakfast meeting. Our red carpet breakfast run from 7:45 a.m. bright and early till 9, so we can get you out the door and back to the office. But it's a great intimate way to have a conversation with our congressman about not only what's going on down in Washington, D.C., but what's happening in the home district from the business perspective, to ask those questions and to give him feedback as well on what's important to folks. And our red carpet breakfasts are open to both members and non-members. There's 2 different prices, so again, a perk of being a member of the chamber. So that we do, like I said, there's a little bit of networking before, get right down to breakfast and the presentation, and then end with a Q&A session.
And where is this going to be?
This one is going to be held at Capriotti's, a great event venue that we have here in the Greater Hazleton area over in the McAdoo area. And folks can register either by calling the chamber or registering online and actually even paying online. So, again, everyone's schedules tend to be sometimes, might open up. You can actually come to the breakfast and pay at the breakfast as well.
Great. So there's
multiple ways.
Yeah, there's is. You don't have to worry about whether you can or you can't, but just make sure you mark it down in your calendar.
That's right.
Who are some of the other people that you have had in the past?
In our series, like I said, we are very fortunate that all of the elected, both state and federal officials generally join us. So we've had the mayor of the city of Hazleton. Last month, we actually had Pennsylvania Senator Gordnier, which is great, right? Above, right? We're getting into budget time now. And
exactly.
So there was and the pension legislation had just passed. So again, one of the important things to the chamber is making sure that it's that two-way conversation of hearing what's going on for businesses and again what's impacting businesses and what the legislators need to be aware of. So our state reps, the only one we have left after the congressman is we'll be having State Representative Jerry Mullery coming up in August.
Oh, nice.
But we're focusing on Congressman Lou for July.
Well, and that's pretty big. Because with everything that's been going on in Washington and
right, and with the health care, there's some expected movement by the end of the month, so potentially before, and also on the tax restructuring and things like that. So I really do think it will be a lively session. And again, would welcome both members and non-members to come out and be a part of that red carpet breakfast.
And the good thing is that you do have the opportunity to ask questions.
Yes.
So about how many people do you expect?
You know what, generally for the congressman, we can get up to close to 100.
Wow.
And again, Capriati's is a wonderful venue. So we have the space that we need. But even with 100 folks, again, you do have that Q&A, and the congressman has always been wonderful. He usually gets there right on time, and so the chance to talk to me either before or afterwards, because sometimes people might have a question or a concern, that they don't want to bring up in the regular. But very informative.
I guess when we're talking about Congressman Barletta, it's also an opportunity for the summertime because they're on break. So
correct.
They also have the chance to be in the area.
Right, so that he'll be probably in the district office and things like that. So, and generally not only the congressman, but some of his staff will attend. And so it gives him the opportunity, each of his staff has a particular area of expertise that he would be able to refer you right away to one of his staffers. So
that's great. Well, Mary, it's up to you.
Join us on the red carpet July the 7th with Congressman Lou Barletta, and you can either call the chamber or go ahead and register at the chamber's website.
All right. Mary Malone from the Greater Hazleton Area Chamber of Commerce always has her red carpet handy and ready to put it out there. Just you never know who's going to be coming along next.
That's right.
And we will see you again soon on Community and You.
Why do so many Subaru buyers love Fairway Subaru?
By far, Fairway Subaru gave me the best price and the best trade-in.
I've been very pleased with their service.
We actually found what we were looking for right off the lot.
Made sure that the vehicle I was looking for fit my needs. I really feel like a part of their extended family.
Fairway Subaru on Route 309, Hazel Township, or visit us online. You're going to love us too.
Do you have a bridal shower, baby shower, birthday party, rehearsal dinner, or some other important event coming up? Call us at Booty's Place to book our elegant, private upstairs dining room. It offers a seating capacity of up to 50 people, a private bar, and an elevator for easy access. Or you can book the entire upstairs for an even larger event. Contact Chef Bobby DeFeo for pricing and delicious customized menu options. 570-455-5551. Let us help make your special day a big success. Booty's Place, definitely the best.
Well, welcome back to Wyln News, everyone. I'm Gary Perna, and I'm joined by Mike Moran, who's one of our engineers here at Wyln and a very dear and close friend to our good friend L.A. Tyrone. And today I wanted to sit down and talk with Mike a little bit about L.A. We had a whole story on him yesterday. Of course, today, if you read the Standard Speak or any of the local newspapers, you saw a great article and great editorials about L.A., who really was the master of all medias, radio, television, and print. Mike, you went to school with him. You worked in radio with him. You've worked here with him for a number of years. I was lucky enough to come in towards the end of LA's term here as news director, and taught me a lot, and everyone who's come through the store. But talk about the guy. We know LA as the newsman. We know LA for ripping apart keyboards and typing, but there was a side to LA that a select few who really got to work with him and knew him really got to see.
Oh, it's funny because I've been listening to all the different people with their recollections of L.A. Tyrone. One of the most important things to know about L.A. Tyrone was that loud, brash L.A. Tyrone that you saw, and the introspective one, because he was very intelligent, was what he was in real life too. Maybe not as loud when you were talking to him in person, but no, I take that back. I remember the discussions in the newsroom here. He was very loud there too, and that was just his normal tone of voice. Very intelligent, very knowledgeable, and a lot of fun to hang around with too.
Coming in and working in the newsroom here at LA was a treat, because he had his routine when he came in, and he had put the pot of coffee on that I think there was a warning label above it that you took your health in your own hands drinking that coffee.
Oh yeah.
But with everything else, he was a facts-driven guy. When I can remember getting scripts approved by him, it would lead into a 45-minute story, but it was the background to the story you were working on.
What you have to know about L.A. Tyrone, and whether it was, and he got his start in college radio, then went to radio, and then at WAZL he was the news director. He was driven by the ethics of news gathering, not just getting a story, because that's what we see nowadays. Anybody with a phone can be a newscaster,
right,
which is unfortunate. LA wouldn't go for that. Matter of fact, till the end, he had a BlackBerry and probably did not know how to use the camera on there, and didn't care, because he would gather the facts first. It wasn't about being on scene for something. You had to know what was going on. Right. And if there was something wrong with the story, if the information wasn't correct or wasn't fully researched, you weren't going with that, and you know that. And we had a lot of discussions about that here at WYLN about, LA, this story's breaking. No, we're gonna wait until we get the facts.
Yep.
Wait until this person calls back, then we can go with it. And he always put a little restriction on it, because you didn't want to run with something that was incorrect. And I'll tell you something, he was proven right time and time again that without the facts, it's just conjecture, and it's just throwing something out there for sensationalism. He was sensational, but he wasn't into sensationalism when it came to news.
Very unique personality and style. Everyone, we've talked about his wardrobe, how it came with him from the 1960s, but that was him. I think, the one day he walked in here, and I'll quote it as a normal shirt and tie, all of us said, "Are you sick, and are you okay?"
What's wrong with you?
What happened? But I think you expected that from him, because there was a story behind it, or that was him, and that's what he represented, and he was always like that, though.
I tell people, we were roommates in college at the end of my college career, and it was pretty much the same clothing. But it was kind of a statement for him. Think about the man that Tyrone was and is in our minds and in our hearts, because that's who people are, and that will remain with me. But that flamboyance, that intelligent conversation, that was all part of the package, and it wasn't. There's not one thing that defined him. It was the whole package, and so. The clothing, the whatever. He enjoyed when we would say, "What's wrong with you? Why are you dressed like that?" Because it was out of the ordinary. And by the way, that coffee was, if people don't understand how much coffee he went through, because remember all the cans lined up on his desk. He had the coffee maker on his desk. That was first and foremost. And it was almost solid, because he would be going every couple of days to the dollar store to get another can of coffee. and pour most of it in.
Yes, it was black tar that they would put on the roofs of houses. This was very similar to that. I'm pretty sure you could have used it to tar it. He offered coffee to me the one time when I first started working here, and I could remember Ann Gownley and Beth Mensinger telling me I wouldn't drink that. But
bring a spoon.
Well, you would. But you know what? For as rough and as loud as LA was, he really was a great person to talk to. He welcomed you, as a new person coming into the business, spent hours with me after newscasts talking about stuff. That was a true LA. He made sure everyone felt welcomed and that they were doing the right job.
And if you take a look at the newspaper articles about L.A. Tyrone, you'll see identical stories. Mm-hmm. He was overbearing, he was loud, he was larger than life. Mm-hmm. But man, if you needed something, if you were had a question, mm-hmm. or if you were new, he made you feel like you were part of the group right off the bat.
Before we end, is there one day, one memory that sticks out in your mind that will always be an L.A. Tyrone memory for you?
I've got so many that we would have to do a couple of hours here. Let me say this, because I've got so many funny L.A. stories, I've got so many different types of L.A. stories. Let me tell you that at the end, he was full class to the very, very end, and he was dedicated to his craft to the very, very end. He was talking to me about hooking up a studio wherever he was, whether it was at Fox Chase or in assisted living. He wanted to be able to get back on the air because he had so much love for what he did. So my final L.A. Tyrone story is class to the very end and dedication.
All right, well, Mike, thank you for coming and talking to us about LA. A great friend to all of us here at Wyln, and of course a great friend that the greater Hazleton area and beyond has lost. And of course, remember Thursday night is his viewing, and then Friday the memorial service at Our Lady of Grace Church in Hazleton. And everyone, please come out and remember LA. He was a great guy and somebody we're all going to miss. And
tell us your funny stories.
There's a lot of them, so yeah, tell us. And of course, if you can do it, it ain't bragging. Thanks for joining us, everyone, here on Wyln News.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Hey neighbor, we're having a backyard sale.
2017 Mazda 3 Sport. Buy it for $16,919 or lease it for $129 a month. Or this 2017 Mazda 6 Sport. Lease it for only $159 a month. Or the all-new 2017 Mazda CX-5 Sport. Lease it for only $179 a month.
At Berger Mazda, Route 93, Hazel Township.
Berger Family Dealerships. Drive with experience.
Wyln CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at Wyln, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, PA, during normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.